Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is gonna be a review on this book. It is Upside Down, The One by John Mars, which apparently is a TV show. Or not apparently, I watched it. It's a TV show too. I did read the book first, I will say. Now, this book was wild. Like, there were a couple twists, I will say, that did catch me off guard. Didn't completely see them coming. But there was also so many that were just, wow, that's crazy. I never would have imagined that that was what's gonna happen. So this book follows 5 different storylines. The characters are Mandy, Nick, Christopher, Jade, and Ellie. At first, it's a little like, it might just be a me thing that like it takes me a little while to learn people's names and like book characters' names. So by the time like we were really in the thick of it by like the middle of the book, then I was like, yes, I know who is who and what is going on. But at the beginning, everything was just kind of a little jumbled for me. Pretty sure that's a me problem though. The plot of the book is basically, if you know 23andMe or like Ancestry DNA, where you like do a cheap swab and then send it out to a lab and they analyze your DNA and like tell you about your family or whatever. This is kind of like that, except it's match. And what they do is, in this universe, some scientists figured out that there's a specific gene that only 2 people have. And you can find your like perfect match by doing one of these like DNA kits. So of course this is like, whoa, scandal, gonna break up marriages and whatever. But also, like, it's kind of nice. Like, you know that there's one person for sure that you're gonna get matched up with, hopefully, and, like, live happily ever after. Like, there's no way for you not to love this person once you, like, meet them. It's following 5 different characters, including the lady who discovered the gene and is, like, the CEO of the company, basically. That's the Ellie character. And it follows their lives for a little bit, and is basically a hot mess. If I'm gonna be honest, I will say I found it very interesting that one of the characters is a serial killer, and like that's not a spoiler. Like, his chapter starts off being like, I killed this lady in the midst of murder. I mean, the obvious one there is his match as a cop. Wow, crazy, would have never seen that coming. Again, one of those moments. One of the other storylines was Mandy, who her match ended up being in an accident. So before they actually got to meet in person, she never even talked to the guy. He was in an accident like before any kind of communication was had between the 2 of them. She, for the majority of the book, thinks he's dead, or at least her family leads her to believe that he's dead, which how and why I don't understand. That's like the dumbest thing. But this lady, I think she's like 37 or 38, and I just feel so bad. But at the same time, it's the situation where I'm like, this is natural selection. You're a dumb bitch. Like, I'm sorry you had a hard life and, like, you got divorced because he left you for his match and, like, all that stuff. That really sucks. But also, you're a dumb bitch. How? I know people do things for love. And maybe I'm just a really cold-hearted... Well, I know I am a really cold-hearted person. But, like, come on, girl. Why is she like this? She like shows up to the guy's funeral. It was a celebration of life. She took it as a funeral, and his family were like, she thinks he's dead, let's run with this one. And first makes up a false story, being like, this is how I know him, to his sister. She didn't know it was his sister, but to his sister. And his sister's like, yeah, I was there. Who are you? Which, why? What in her mind was like, yeah, this is a great idea. I'm gonna show up to this celebration of life. I'm gonna pretend that I know him and see where it goes. I can't with her. But she gets to know the sister and the mom, who both lead her to believe this guy is dead. And then, because she's so obsessed with the idea of this guy being her, like, one true love, they offer her to have his baby because he had cancer a while back. So, like, his sperm is in a sperm bank. And they're like, well, you guys can't be together physically, but you can still have his baby. First of all, very, very obvious plot line. You could see that one coming from a mile away. The second it was like, he's dead, I was like, wait, she gonna have his baby? That would be wild. Did it happen? Yeah. Did she say yes? yes. Immediately after, her family were like, are you dumb? Like, I don't think I would flat out say that to a friend of mine if they were going through a similar situation. But I would think it for sure. Like, you have never met this guy. They offer you to have his child through, like, artificial insemination. And, like, yes, I know that that's a thing that people do, and, like, more power to them. But given the situation, are you dumb? Like, do you not see any red flags here? Every time that her, like, chapter would come up, I would just be pissed. What's she gonna do next? And then, because she can't, I don't know, I don't even know how to, like, describe this lady. She was Facebook stalking his, like, profile to get pictures of him and all that stuff. She finds one of his exes and is like, yeah, I'm gonna go meet up with you because I want to know more about what he was like in a relationship so I can imagine it more myself. Crazy, first of all. Second, she goes to meet this girl. This girl's like, yeah, no, he would have easily cheated on me and, like, all this stuff, and he wasn't really a good person and, like, didn't want kids and all this stuff. And she's like, what? How could you say these things? His family said he wanted to be a dad and all this stuff. Dumb bitch. The amount of post-it notes I have in here where most of them just say, like, dumb bitch. And then the girl at the very end is like, you will not believe what, like, his mom tried to offer to me to have his baby? What kind of crazy person would do that? Meanwhile, she's sitting there, visibly pregnant. I can't. I straight up can't. And then the girl's like, oh, yikes. Big yikes. Oh, and then she's like, oh yeah, no, he's not dead. He's just, like, in a coma, basically. Like, in a vegetative state. She did zero research. She just, like, stared at pictures of him and then believed everything her family said. Would you not just do some, like, light Googling? What? Yeah, so that was Mandy. Like, her and Ellie, who was, like, Ellie and Chris, Chris is a serial killer guy. Ellie is the lead, like, CEO/scientist who discovered the gene. Their 3 storylines are the ones that really, like, appealed to me the most as far as, like, interesting. Ellie, there's also another guy, Nick, who was engaged to a girl. Then another dumb bitch moment. They were happily engaged. He was like, I don't believe in this test stuff. Like, we've been together forever. And she's like, but don't you want to know? Red flag. Immediate red flag. Clearly, there is not enough love to hold this relationship together if you're thinking that. And he's like, no, like, it's not even on my mind. If it's on her mind, clearly she doesn't fucking love you enough. So she makes him do the test. His match ends up being a guy. And of course, you know, like, they fall in love, and it's really awkward and cute because he's like, I'm not gay, like, what the heck? Why is it a guy? Like, is this a joke? But then they, like, see each other and meet, and it's very, very cute. I live for their relationship. That one was nice. It ends also very, like, she cheats on him, and he's like, or I left his match guy to be with her because she said she was pregnant, him thinking it's his kid. The baby comes out, it's black. They're both white as hell. Clearly the baby isn't his. And then the icing on the cake, the baby is her best friend's husband's baby. I don't understand people. I really don't understand people. And then this guy is like, I don't want that kid. Gross. And among all things, he's like, I'm gonna keep the baby. He's my son. He is not your son. He is not genetically related to you at all. And he is the son of your ex-fiance who cheated on you, who clearly doesn't love you because she made you take that test after you told her that you loved her and that the test didn't matter. She was like, no, gotta do it anyways. And you're keeping the baby? I know the baby has, like, no part in this and is an innocent life. But, like, I could not. I don't have that good of a heart. No way. Absolutely not. So there was that storyline. The serial killer guy, I mean, like, it mostly just goes through him and the cop's relationship and then, like, him killing some other people, and then eventually she finds out because, whoa, of course she's gonna find out. I liked that one. That one was good. Jade's storyline, to me, was incredibly boring and I found to be kind of useless and didn't need to be in the book. Everything else was so wild. Maybe it was, like, trying to balance it out with something a little more, like, tame and normal. With everything else being as wild as it is, give me something else wild. Like, I don't want to read boring at this point. And then Ellie, who was the, the scientist, the CEO of the company, it goes about talking about her match. That one, I think, was the biggest, like, twist for me. I feel like if I tell it in here, then no one's gonna read it. I'm debating whether I want to, like, talk about that twist. I think I'll leave it out. I did like the book. I've got my notes for book club for later. I did like it. Overall, I'm pretty sure I'd give it like a 3.75 out of 5 stars. It wasn't like amazing. There was a lot of predictability in here, but it was still like drama, and I like drama. Yeah, I liked it. And it is a TV show on Netflix. Oh, I didn't even mention, all of the characters in here I'm pretty sure are British. And like if you watch the show on Netflix, they're all like British. I don't know if that's like something that matters to you as a reader or as a show watcher. It was a British thing. It's on Netflix. I also watched it immediately after reading this. And I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to watch the show and watch the book be the show, But that never happens, of course. So the only thing that's the same about the show and the book is the name and the fact that there's DNA matching. That's it. That's where the similarities end. None of the characters are the same. All the storylines are different. And of all of the things that you're gonna change, the person that like found the scientist lady, her name is Ellie in the book. In the show, I'm pretty sure it's like Rebecca or something. Not even the same name. That bothered me. Okay, like, give me some new storylines, make it a little more interesting, that way people, like, want to watch it, because they don't actually know what's going on, it's not exactly like the book. Okay, I get that, but why would they change the person that found the gene in the book? Don't call it the one then, don't say it's based off the book, because it completely wasn't. They had opportunities to make it good, and as a standalone drama series, it was pretty alright. Definitely wasn't as intense as the book. I was really hoping to see like the serial killer character storyline. He wasn't in it, so that sucked. Or a variation of that wasn't in it. So that was kind of boring. It was definitely way more tame than I wanted it to be. Definitely an empty feeling after watching it. Like, I didn't need to watch it to gain any like info on the book. Terrible. I will say though, there is one character storyline that's kind of like the couple in the book where she like makes him do the test, except in the show she sends out his DNA without him knowing, and then finds his match and meets up with this girl to like try and get to know her and try and be like her. That was like the closest to the book in terms of like wildness, where I was like, wow, here we have a dumb bitch. And he's like, what made you think that was a good idea? Like, we're married. Clearly I love you. I had no interest in taking the test, like the guy in the book. And she's like, I just had to know. They picked the perfect actress for it too, because she has like the crazy eyes. If you know, you know, the crazy eyes. So yeah, that one was wild, I will say. I watched the show solely to see how that one would play out. Okay, I've been talking for like 25 minutes. I need to end this and actually like get to book club. So I'm gonna leave you guys here. 3.75 out of 5 stars for the book. The show was eh. So like if you want to watch it, go for it. If you don't, I don't blame you. But yeah, that's my review on this book. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye!